Dr. Franklin, and I will be interacting with you through this course, which is Humanities 1302, Advanced Humanities. And the thrust that I use for this course at Mountain View College is through popular culture. So I thought maybe it would be helpful for us to start with knowing what the course is from working with the course description that's in the catalog and kind of break it down, and in that way give you some idea of some of the things that we'll be doing through the semester. Human value choices are presented through the context of the humanities. One of the prerequisites for this course is Humanities 1315, and so that means that you will have already taken either Introduction to the Humanities, which is Humanities 1301, a course that we no longer offer in this district, but it's offered in other districts, or perhaps you were a student at Mountain View a long time ago when we once offered 1301. Or you've taken 1315, and 1315 was Fine Arts Appreciation, and you may recall that that was the course where you learned some of the fundamentals of visual arts and photography and cinema, architecture, music and drama and dance, and perhaps a little bit of the digital arts as well. So in that course, as you'll recall, most of the focus was on learning about those disciplines, understanding those disciplines, and looking at works of the human being through those lenses. So we looked at paintings and sculpture, and we watched dance performances, and we saw movies, and we looked at buildings and talked about architectural design and the role of the building and the structure in the neighborhood, and et cetera, et cetera. So this course moves from that point, saying, okay, we already have that foundation, we already have that terminology, so now we can broaden that and take the conversation out further. So the next sentence in the course description is, universal concerns are explored, such as a person's relationship to self and to others and the search for meaning. That's a really, really broad statement, but what it's really talking about is looking at how we interact within a civilized setting, because we do not live in silos. Our lives don't happen in these individual little vacuums. So it's the interrelationships. There's something called interspace, and we'll talk about this during the semester. Interspace refers to that time between events, between occurrences. And those events and occurrences, they don't have to be major. Like it can be something like the difference between when you leave home and you turn the lock on your residence, and you're in your car and you actually are in the process of driving away. Those are two mundane little occurrences, but it's a space between those two. When you have left your abode, but then you're in your car. So that interspace refers to what happened in between, in that in-between space, where you were thinking about something. Maybe that's when you were making or receiving a call or going down a mental list, that sort of thing. A lot of our life happens within those interspaces, and that's further complicated by the fact that now we live in virtual environments where we do a lot of our interaction through text messaging, we're tweeting, we're on Facebook. There are all kinds of venues that we use to help bridge that communication when we're no longer within the same physical space. So we'll be looking at, and that particular sentence goes to, how do we interact with each other as part of this life experience? And then how do we interact with ourselves? What are the conversations that we have with self? How do we perceive self within this new environment? The next sentence, the human as a loving, believing, and hating being is also studied, which that's going to the next level. That's getting to motivation, what makes us do the things that we do, and those are always individual things, and kind of hearkening back to 1315, why does one person like the color red in a painting and then another person is repulsed by that same thing? Same painting might be a masterpiece. One person loves it, another person hates it. That gets to that individual thing. What is the motivation? What is it within us individually that drives our responses to a particular thing or to a particular event or series of events? Emphasis is on the human as seen by artists, playwrights, filmmakers, musicians, dancers, philosophers, and theologians. So this should be familiar to you because we already learned the terminology from those disciplines in 1315. So now we're just going deeper because now we're able to translate more of the works, looking at the way we interact with each other, the way we manage those interspaces, the way we behave as loving, civil, and sometimes not so loving and not so civil human beings within a space, but we'll look at those through the works of these creative artists, our poets, and our video game developers, our filmmakers, etc. The next sentence is the commonality of human experience across cultures and the premises for value choices are also stressed. What is it that makes us human? We're unique, and at the same time, we are the same species. So what distinguishes what? Where's the breaking point? Where is the divide? Because all of that goes to identity and individuality. So this is the course description as it is in the catalog, and hopefully with me breaking it down sentence by sentence, you can understand how we're going to be approaching this as we go through this course. Now, add on top of that, that my theme is through popular culture. Now, the word popular works within a context. So we have popular culture, which means today, like 21st century, but we'll also look at what popular culture was like mid-20th century. There's some of our references that might take us back to an earlier time, because the Renaissance, there was popular culture of the Renaissance, just like we have popular culture of today. So we'll be looking at some very specific areas and see what was common at that time, how were these things reflective of what was going on in modern day society. It's like, for example, we use Twitter today, and you're going to be using Twitter in the course, as I said earlier. Why? What is that phenomenon? How long have we had it? What is the value added for us? What do we learn about ourselves through the process of using this particular mode of communication? This is an honors course, and I've aligned it this semester for the first time, with the honors study topic that is presented through the International Honor Society, which is Phi Theta Kappa. Some of you might already be members of Phi Theta Kappa. Those of you that are not, then this will be a good time for you to find out about Phi Theta Kappa. It is the International Academic Honor Society for the 2-year colleges. On the 4-year level, that sister organization is Phi Beta Kappa. So you will be getting some information during the semester about membership, what it takes to qualify, that sort of thing. But the honor study topic I'm really excited about because it's about the culture of competition. And there are a lot of ways that we will look at competition through the arts, competition through sports, competition through economics. So we will have there are a lot of those study topics through Phi Theta Kappa, and we're not going to try to do all of them, but we will do maybe about 3 or 4 that we're going to focus on, and let that be the portal through which we walk and look at the other things that I was outlining earlier. By looking at how we are when we're competing within a game environment, for example, well, you're in college and you're getting ready, and at some point you're going to try to either get a job or get a job that's better or get one that is different, and you're going to be competing. So what happens through the process of that competition that informs us about ourselves as a species and how we fit in and interact with each other? And so that gets to an advanced level of looking at the humanities. I'm looking forward to working with you as we look at these things. It's the first time, like I said, we've done this as an honor study topic. You're not going to have a book, but you will have a series of readings, assigned readings that I've already chosen for you. Those are going to be available through the library, and most of those will be available through the online library. There will be some of those things that I'll introduce to you in class. Most of your assignments and the work in the course is going to be project-driven because this is an advanced course, so you're not going to have the same types of quizzes and weekly assignments that you did in 1315 because we're working at a higher level, and this is an honors course. So you need something that you can sink your teeth into, and I have plans for you. I have some really, really cool plans. So I hope that you're excited about getting involved in this semester, and as I am in working with you. And as you work your way through the course and through the course site, you'll find more information of the tools and resources that you will need, and you'll probably hear from me a little bit later. See you soon. Bye.